Welcome back to my channel. Give it a try. I have an awesome guest today, and it is Beth. Hi, Beth.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Awesome. So today we are thinking of Christmas already. It is almost Thanksgiving. So I was thinking of some Christmas ideas, and one of them is a coaster with a pouch. So here's some coasters, and I did about 6 of them. You could do about 4 or 2, whatever it may be, and to make a pouch. So Beth, I was thinking of you. Maybe that would be some ideas you could give to ladies at church or for yourself. So some coaster ideas. I've done some cherries. I have done some dogs, and you could do dog bones. The ideas are endless. So today I actually, before we started with the video, I got with Beth and we picked out some items that she's going to need. So we'll pull those out. The first thing you're going to need to do, Beth, is pick out the fabric that you liked to put on the center of the coaster. I don't know which is easier to see. We have the cherries and we also have the sailboats. So the center that we need to pick out would be some type of fabric other than the felt itself. So Beth, you picked out this leaf.
Yes.
She picked out the leaf pattern. I actually thought I would do a little surprise for Beth.
Okay.
I picked out this pattern also, and it has all different fall colors on it, so we picked out that. So you're going to need some cotton fabric, and also she picked out some felt. Now this was for your coaster.
Yes.
And the dark brown was actually for her pouch. So you got that, Elizabeth? Thanks. So the next thing you wanted to pick out was the shape.
Correct.
And you picked out the maple leaf and the oak leaf. Now I just want to let everybody know, you don't have to have cookie cutters to have a pattern for your coaster. You could get online.
Okay.
And you could pick out a theme that you wanted and print it out and make it go smaller, or go to a copier machine and shrink it to the size of your coaster. So that's also a great idea. And then the last thing that, oh no, not the last thing actually, you need embroidery floss. Now there's the kind that you use for cross stitch, and that actually comes apart very easily. This is a little more of I would say more of a solid string. I mean, it doesn't come up, it doesn't fray as well, or fray as much, I should say. And this, I believe, is embroidery floss. And she picked out 2 colors. One color is to go around the leaf.
Yes.
And the other color is to go around either the edge or the edge of the pouch. But when we get to it, you can really truly decide.
Okay.
And then the button.
Yep.
The buttons that go on the pouch, which is, I think, dresses it off to the theme of your coaster. One time I found a really cool button of a bear print. So that was really cool. I did that with the Adirondack coasters, so that was cool. And so we're going to get started. Thank you. Okay, so now we need a template. The template is for the size of the coasters. So Beth, we're going to be... this is the size of the coaster. Now I have, okay, I'm terrible at this. Beth, what are these called?
Compasses.
Compasses.
That's
Projectors? Is it a projector?
No, no, that's a compass.
It's a compass. Okay, that's great. I'm glad she's here because, yes, I am a homeschooling mother and I don't even know what these are called. So, but anyways, a compass. And so I do know this. The radius of this circle is 6 centimeters. Of course, I don't have my glasses on, but I'm sure that's what this one is no, metric? Metric? Yeah, centimeters. So that was on the 6. So what you do is you put this in the center, and then you would go all the way around. And so this measured 6, and this was a 7. So those are the 2 templates you're going to need. And the coasters, now it all determines on how many coasters you want to make and how many circles you're going to cut. If you want 6 of these coasters, you're going to cut out 12 circles.
Okay.
Because there is a front and a back to this coaster. So when you cut them out, you have a back and a front. So they go together like this. So if you want 4, you would cut 8 circles. And when you cut out the bigger circle, you are going to need only 3 to cut out of these.
Okay.
And there's 2 to make this a firmer pouch. There's 2 circles that are going to be sewn together, and then this is only 1 circle in the front that we fold over. So you only need 3 of these, and then I would say double. You know, like if you wanted 4, you would do 8 cutouts. And then this is going to be the strip that holds the pouch together. You only need 1 of these, and this is about 1 inch wide if you're going to go with 6 coasters, and I would say about 3/4 of an inch if it's going to be 4 coasters. So we'll get to that when we start cutting them out. Okay, Beth, so this is your turn to shine in my video.
Oh, cool.
I feel like you haven't said anything. So what Beth is going to be doing is she is going to be, this is actually her craft today, so you're going to be able to take these home. Cool. And you're going to trace these. Now, today we're using a black permanent magic marker so you guys can see. And we'll just cut inside that.
Okay.
So it won't show up once we cut it out. But you can cut these circles out either one at a time, or you can double up your felt and cut both at the same time. I would just pin them so they don't shift. So Beth's going to be doing that. And just an idea, if you don't have one of these fancy gadgets of a compass, you could use a glass or a small bowl. Just decide what size coaster you want, and then I would just make sure it was a little bit, I don't know if you can see, but it's a little bit bigger. This circle is. Elizabeth's saying you really can't see that, but if you take my word for it, it is a little bit bigger. There you go. So you have room to sew it together and have room for the coaster to be in there. So that would be the only thing, you know, it doesn't have to be exact measurements. Okay, so we have a little different angle here. So, Beth, you're going to be cutting out your coasters.
Awesome.
So these are the actual size of the coasters. And you wanted 6 coasters.
Yes.
So what she did is she's doubling up her fabric, her felt, and you're going to cut actually only 6 times because they're doubled.
Okay.
Okay? So she's going to trace them out and cut them. Okay, so now she just got done cutting out all of her coasters, and now she's going to be cutting out for this pouch. And what she's going to need, Beth, what you're going to need, I'm acting like you're not even here. Beth, what you're going to need is 3 of the circles.
Okay.
So you were pretty cool and pretty clever. You folded it so there's 3 layers in here. So she's only going to have to cut 1 time, but you need 3 of these circles to make this pouch, and that's what she's going to be cutting out right now.
I gave it a try to do 3, but I wouldn't recommend it, so don't give that a try.
So you would probably just do 3 circles or 2 and 1.
Exactly.
It was way too thick to cut.
It was. It was.
So, but even though it might be a little jaggedy, you can still trim that.
Okay.
And the way you do the blanket stitch, or what they call a buttonhole stitch, that will cover it. So
Okay.
you don't have to worry about it.
Good.
I mean, we can trim it too, so it's not, and you don't have to be totally exact.
Okay.
So I don't know if this camera can pick up the stitching. So, all right. So the last thing where you're going to be cutting out is this bottom part of the pouch. And because you are doing 6, it is actually the width of a normal ruler. I don't know. Can you see that ruler, Elizabeth?
Yes.
The width of this ruler is the width of that, of this bottom of the pouch. So all we have to do is cut out 1 more brown piece of this size. Okay, so I keep saying the next step, but it is the next step. So what we're going to do is trace out the shape of what is going to be inside your coaster, and you decided these leaves, and you
Yes.
wanted 3 probably the maple and 3 of the red oak.
Yes.
And these are cookie cutters, and they are at the right size that she's going to need. So we didn't have to like print them out and shrink them. So she has her fabric, and we have it on the wrong side. That's what you want to be, is on the wrong side, because you're going to get some of this. It's called Heat and Bond. It's Heat and Bond, and what it is, it's like an iron-on. So you iron on one side,
Okay.
and then this is paper, and then once it's ironed on and we cut these out, then we'll be able to take off this paper, and you'll be able to iron it on the coasters.
Oh,
So
that's nifty.
probably me telling you probably was a little confusing. So we're going to see you do it.
Okay.
So, all right. So we're going to measure out how much we actually need, and Beth is going to be ironing that on. This is the Heat and Bond, and so you're going to put the sticky side, or the rougher side, down on top of the wrong side of the fabric.
Okay.
And you're going to iron this onto the fabric without anything traced on it. You're just going to iron this down with no steam on your iron. And the directions directions come with this, so you would be able to know, if the people that are watching the video, if you've never used this stuff before, you would just follow the directions on the back.
Okay.
So go ahead. So Beth, what we're going to do is we're just going to trace these cookie cutters. Like I said, you can use any type of template that you want, but cookie cutters really work great. So if you want to trace that out, and we're going to cut this out. We're not going to do a time lapse or anything like that. We're just going to cut out a few, and then I'm going to show you a trick on how to get this white paper off, because it is really on there, and it's sometimes very difficult to get off. So we're going to trace this and cut this out, and we'll be right back. Beth, you just ironed on your Heat and Bond, and she traced out the leaf pattern on the back, and so this is what they look like. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so how we get that paper off, here's the trick. And I did not know this, and I struggled and struggled and struggled. But what it is you just twist your fabric just a little bit, and the paper will rip.
Oh.
And you can grab right a hold of it. And it, of course I have no nails, and it comes off like this. So you want to try the maple one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nifty.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So you can decide how you want to have it look on your coaster, and these will be outlined with the rotary thread. So out of that other cool fabric we had here, we actually cut out little leaves. So if she wanted to combine her leaves with 2 smaller leaves like this, they will be outlined, so it won't look so like you piled a bunch of fabric on top of one another. So she may want to just give that a try to see if she likes it or not, because really we have enough fabric to cut more circles if she didn't like it. So we're going to give that a try, and plus just 1 leaf.
Okay.
And we'll, after we iron this onto, what she's going to do now is you're going to iron this on top of your circle.
Okay.
So that's what she's going to do right now, and we'll be right back. Okay, so it's like a mouse in your pocket. So she has ironed on these leaves, and the next step, to make them a little fancier. Now, we don't need to do this next step just so they stay on, because we have the iron on there. So this is for decorative, to outline the leaves. And what we're going to do is just a regular sewing stitch. I'm not fancy on stitches. So what this is I made a knot at the bottom of my string, or thread, I should say. And what we're going to do is, you want the knot on this side. So you're going to start from the inside of the circle, and you are going to push it through on the edge of the leaf. And you're going to come up through, and it's just an up and down stitch, and you're going to want to go onto the leaf. So it's like this. And this is a better example of what you're looking for. I think you can see it better on the sailboat, probably better than what you're going to see on our leaf. So I just wanted to show that to you. It's just a straight stitch, up and down, up and down, up and down to outline. And you can make them as wide as you want. You can make them as close as you want. Really, this is up to what you like the best. I like them a little bit far apart.
Okay.
And I like them onto the actual decoration, which this one is the sailboat and these are the leaves. So we're going to do that, and instead of doing a time lapse, we're just going to have our cup of coffee and do this, and we'll get back to you and show you what it looks like when it's all finished.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so we have our thread and we knotted that. And what we're going to do is have the knot on the inside. So I'm just going to push that through, Beth.
Okay.
And you're just going to pull for the first one. And you're going to sandwich them together. So the first one, you're going to try to come up in the same spot. You're just going to come from underneath, right up straight to where your thread was in the first hole. So it looks like that, and you're making a loop all the way around. So the first couple stitches are and you don't want to pull tight. It's just for decorative and hold the sandwich together. So what we're going to do after we have that, you have that, Beth? Okay, awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go again underneath. And you're going to go up and you're going to take this thread that's at the needle and wrap it around, not completely like this, you're just going to go wrap around once and just pull. And there you have your blanket stitch. Of course, the first one's going to look like that because we're attaching from the bottom, but as you go along, it's all going to be on the edge. So you're going to put your needle through from the bottom. You're going to put your thread around the needle. Can you see that, Elizabeth? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to pull. And when you do, it's going to be starting to come across like this. Can you see that, Elizabeth? I don't think so.
I'm working on it. There we go.
Like that. So an easier way to see it is on this pouch with dark blue, and you can see how it comes across the top. And that's what's going to end up being like for the button stitch. So I'm just going to do a few more to show you. And Beth's already on a roll, and you have never done the blanket stitch, have you?
Not that I remember.
Okay, so she picked right up on it. So here we are, just a couple more, and then we'll take a break and get these finished. And like I said, this should only take about 5 minutes. This does not take a long time whatsoever once you get started. You do have to have a pretty long thread to make it all the way around because you are taking up quite a bit of thread, but there we go. So you stick it through, wrap it around maybe just part way, and then you pull. Okay. And there you go. Okay, so we're finished with the blanket stitch now. And so what we're going to do is finish up. So what I'm going to do, we have to knot. So what I'm going to do is this thread's hard to see with this one, but you're going to sneak it in there and just push a little bit of through there like that. And I'm going to come back through the same area, and I'm going to put it through the hole that I just made. I made a loop. You're going to put your needle through that loop and pull. And I'm going to do it one more time on the almost exact knot. I'm going to hook my needle into that knot, pull, made a loop again. I don't know if you can see that loop. Made the loop. Put my needle through the loop and pull, and I have a knot. And it's hardly visible. So now we are completed with our coasters. And we're on to the pouch. And thank you for watching the first part of the segment. And the pouch we'll add on a little bit later. Hi, we just took a break, actually a day maybe break.
Yes.
So we did get the coasters done. I'll just show everyone. Thank you, Beth.
Sure.
Beth and I finished up these.
Yeah.
We finished up these leaves, the autumn leaf coasters. We got the back on and the front, and we did the buttonhole stitch all the way around, or the blanket stitch all the way around on all 6 of these coasters. So I don't know if you can see these. We'll lay them out, and maybe a little bit later we can have a looky look. So now we're going to be making this pouch, and this is the pouch that the coasters actually go into. And 6 of them actually fit into this. You can make your pouch a little thinner, so 4 of them can fit. It's really up to what your desire is, and we'll show you that. And so Beth, I'm going to show Beth, and then Beth is going to take over the video.
Okay.
Because she is my guest. So, so today we're doing the pouch. And we cut out the 3 larger circles. And that's what we're going to be using today, and the strip. Now, okay, so I gave a measurement in the beginning for this strip that is going to be the base of the pouch. And that is approximately what you would need. But it all depends on how you do the fold. I don't know if you can see this fold here, but it depends on your fold. And why I'm saying is some of your designs may have something you want to be able to be part of the decoration, like the peaking of the leaf. Mm-hmm. This is a little bit of the sailboat. There's a sailboat in this coaster. And then I'm doing for cherries. So when I do this fold, I'm going to decide how much of this cherry I want to be seen, or part of the plaid to be seen. So when you decide what the fold is, I made my strip a little bit longer than what I gave the measurement for, because when you go to sew, I'm going to show you this in a minute, when you go to sew this on with the blanket stitch, you may have a little extra, and you can just clip that. I know that looked really weird, but you can clip that off to the size that you want.
Okay.
So if you want, when you do that measurement, maybe go a little bit longer next time, when you cut it out. So Beth, so you need to decide where you want your fold to be. So what I would do is I would kind of look at it on your leaves and decide where you want your fold. And I do have buttons and some pins, and you do need a pin for this. Yes. So you've decided what you want your fold.
Yes.
So she has made her fold, and we're going to put 2 pins, one in one corner and one in the other corner, Beth.
Okay.
And we're not going to put the button in. That goes at the very last. What this does is helps you get started where your blanket stitch is going to start. So I'm going to do the same thing. And it's approximately right there is where I think I want mine. And so we're going to start the blanket stitch. And so you're going to take your bottom of your pouch, this long narrow strip, and we're going to go right to the corner of it, and you're going to face it on the inside of the pouch. So we're going to be pinching it and sewing all the way around like this. So does that I don't know if anybody can, does that look right, Elizabeth, through the camera? Okay, thanks. So you're going to be doing it from the inside. So it's basically, people that know how to sew, it's back to back, correct? Back to back. So you're not going to, I just don't want anybody to flip over and then start sewing it, and it's front to front, because then when you go to flip it over, you'll never see your buttonhole stitch. So make sure it's back to back so you can still see your fold with nothing on it. I guess that's one way to say it. So you're going to knot your thread. We have ours already ready. And the first thing you're going to do is you are actually going to start on the side of your, way over here. you're going to actually start on the farthest corner of your strip, and there's a reason why for that. So just pull, and you're going to make a couple blanket stitches right on that edge. This is the trickiest part. Once this gets done,
Okay, I see what
you are going to be finished. I mean, it won't be very difficult. Of course, my thread gets stuck on the table. I love bloopers. Okay, so then you're going to do that. Boy, it looks like I knew what I'm doing. And you're going to make a couple blanket stitches right here. And you're going to stay with us here for a second. I know this seems a little maybe monotonous, but you're going to see why here in a second. Of course, I get a knot. All right. All right, so now I have my few blanket stitches. Now, and you don't want to pull tight or it's just going to, you just want it loosely. So now I have my fold. And now, where you just left off, you're going to put together right here to right here. So here's your, so you're going to go like this, and now you can attach your strip. Does this make sense to you?
Okay. Oh, wait, let me like this.
And now you can start making your blanket stitch all the way around. Okay, so Beth and I just got done going along this edge, and we went around this whole section, and we stopped at the fold here. And so now what we're going to have to do is just take our pin out of the fold, and we're going to finish this part right here. And I know there's a little tail here. You can actually clip that where you want. Don't clip your thread, please. And you just, because that's where the folds are. So you're going to unfold this, and we're going to finish this blanket stitch on just this, and we're going to stop and not at the other end. So you're going to have one completed circle here. You see that, Elizabeth? Not sure. So you can already see the form of the bottom forming right here. How'd yours turn out, Beth?
I think it came out pretty good.
Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. I love the gold or the tan with the dark brown.
It looks really cool.
It is very rich. So we're going to continue on finishing up this whole circle, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we have it folded. You can see where I folded it back over where the button's going to go. So I'm coming over here. This side has already been done. So now we're going to start at this corner. I don't know, maybe, can I borrow this real quick?
Absolutely.
This corner right here. I don't know if you could see it better against the dark. So this corner right here, and we're going to work our way across this section right here. And when we do, I'll show you what we're going to do when we get to this corner here. Okay, so I've got a knot already in my string, in my thread, I'm sorry, ladies and gents. So I'm going to pull through. Of course, I'm always getting caught on the table here. I have an antique table here. And I'm going to just pull up through like this, going right back where the knot is, and start my loop. Of course, it looks like a jumbled mess, but you do want quite a bit of thread so you can start working a way around. So then, let's see, I'm sorry. So I'm going to come around like this, around, pull through. I don't know if you can see, Elizabeth, am I pulling away too much? Okay. Really doesn't matter, I don't think, if you go from the right or the left of the needle when you pull through. Okay, so I'm almost to the spot where we're going to start adding on to the other side of the... Oops, sorry, Beth.
Okay.
I just hit Beth's needle with my own hand. Okay, so we're all the way across now. And so I'm going to take my two circles, and I'm just going to pinch them together. I mean, if you want to pin this so it stays together, you can. But I never really noticed that I needed to. So now we can just get started. It doesn't matter where you start on the circle because it's a circle. So you're going to start putting back to back here. So looks like this. It's a 3 layers, 1, 2, 3. And you are just going to start attaching. Where's my thread here? Oh, thank goodness I was paying attention. Holy crow. We would have gone in the wrong direction. I would have attached the wrong one. So here's your 1, 2, 3. Here's my thread. And you're just going to put it through, Beth. I don't know if you can see. You're going to put it through. And now you're just attaching it. Just like that. There we go. Now you can start your buttonhole stitch and go all the way around. And then you will be completed. Once you get to this spot here, you'll be completed. Okay, so we're back. I've changed up to a green. I really wanted the green to stand out. And I put a knot at the end of my thread. And she's all set. Beth's all set. And so what we're going to do is just attach a button. So, but all I wanted to make known here is you're not going to go from underneath because we want this flap to stay down. So you're going to go from the inside of this pouch and start from here. So it's going to be like this. I don't know if you can see inside. And so we're just going to just sew on the button now to keep the flap down. That's what all this is really doing. So you'll always see your coasters from the inside. Okay, I want to thank Beth.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks so much for coming in and participating with
I
this.
had a great time.
And it's something that I think once you get the hang of it, it goes really quickly.
I agree.
I think the only basic thing that you need to know is how to do the blanket stitch and also just the in and out stitch. The rest of it is just cutting up the pieces and getting enough thread. So really, I think this is I would say on the easy level.
I agree.
Yeah. Is there any questions that you would have?
Are they washable?
I would try to wash them by hand because they are felt. If you were ever to get the real wool felt, you would definitely need to do them by hand or with Woolite or something like that, I would assume. I've never really had to wash mine yet. And I have had mine for quite a while. And my parents, I did a really large mat for their table. And they haven't had to wash theirs yet either. And it has lasted for quite a few years. So these will last up even if you get the more inexpensive felt. So, well, I hope you enjoy this and give it a try.